Hi again, everybody. Erik Smith here on Smith Drums. Well, as I am in the process of unpacking and changing heads on my brand new Yamaha recording custom drum set, I thought I'd just make a short video. Well, I don't know if it will be short or not, but let's see. I decided anyway to make a video just tuning this 10 by 7 recording custom tom. Drum tuning is probably the subject that I get most questions about on Facebook when I do clinics or when I teach or whatever. And for a lot of drummers, tuning the drums seems to be a big mystery and something that some people are actually afraid of. They're afraid of touching the lugs and trying to make the drums sound the way they want to. For me, tuning my drums and maintaining my drums in the best way possible has always been something that I really liked doing. And of course, tuning your drums and experimenting with heads and so on. With that process, you find your own sound. I mean, you tune your drums to fit your playing style and your music preferences and the different settings that you play in. So it's actually a very important part of your whole product as a drummer. So right now on these drums, they come with Remo coated ambassador heads with the Yamaha logo. Yamaha batter, it says. It's been like that for since these drums were launched back in the late 70s. They had these heads with these labels, so it's actually a cool part actually of the whole look of the drums. However, I tend to want to use different heads. I really love Evans drum heads. I've been using them since 1983. The first thing I did when I got my first recording custom kit in 1983 was to change all the heads, top heads, to Evans hydraulic blue, hydraulic, something like that, the blue oil heads, and I still use them on occasion. They were ready when my drums shipped. I was ready, and I just put them on the drums, and it sounded great for that sound that was popular in the 80s. And since then, I really loved Evans drum heads and the way they made the drums sound and the way they respond to my playing, which is probably the most important part. So, as I say, these drums comes with Remo Ambassador 1-ply heads. I really like to use slightly thicker heads on my drums in general, and usually I'll end up with these, and it's the Evans G2. You see it says G2 on the top there, and these are the new series Level 360 that Evans launched. Was it last year? I think so. And they're very consistent, very durable. Coating is great and lasts for a long time in my experience anyway. So that's the heads that I want to put on these drums to check them out. Maybe I listen to it and I want to try something else. Maybe, let's see. But anyway, I unscrewed all the lugs here, so the head comes off like this, as we all know. So also a good, of course, a good opportunity when you get the heads off is to check out the drum itself. Number one, you can see inside these drums. It's a beautiful finish, a dark lacquer finish. The bearing edges, of course, very important. Yamaha is an expert in making really true and really fantastically even bearing edges. So this really great, looks amazing. yeah, I know I'm getting excited about these drums. I just got them, so I just bear with me. Anyway, then you take, of course, the head that you want to put on it. For drummers, there are some superstition stuff as to where the logo is going to be placed on the drum when you put the head on. Many drummers said, okay, we want it here as the badge is here. I always did it the way on these drums that I have them at the top where the mounting system is. In this case, the Yes system that Yamaha invented. Anyway, so try to make it look even and nice. Then just put the rim on. The first thing I do, which is, I mean, this is not anything new. What you're gonna see here, I don't know. For some people, it might be new. Anyway, this thing that I do right after putting the rim on the drum, just see that it's seated properly. With quality drums like these and quality heads like these, you will very, very rarely experience problems with fitting the head and anything. You know, here it's really sits well on the shell immediately. So the thing I do first is just using my fingers. I just screw the lugs down. Just I tend to go crossover like this, so then you get it even. I go like this to these two. I just find the right place and I just screw them in like this. And just tighten them until they sort of stop naturally. Last two here. The reason, of course, why I use my fingers for this at the beginning is that tightening these lugs, you will have a pretty even tuning, you know, or just using your fingers, because you have kind of an even power in your fingers. So when you tighten them like this, it will sort of go to where you can't tighten them anymore, and that will usually be sort of a very good place to start. Okay, so sometimes I like to push down a little bit the rim when I tighten each screw to make it even a little bit tighter, just like this. Let's see. So already here, kind of, you already have a little bit of tension into the head, but of course you need more. Then I just take the drum key and I start going crossover, and I'm very thorough. Try to just do even turns with the key. Like I do one whole turn, I go over here, I do one whole turn here, one whole turn there, and there. So already just with doing one round like that without even checking, you have a pretty good place to start when you listen to the overtones here. I also like to just push gently in the middle of the head. With Evans' head, you don't really need to do it. It's just something I am accustomed to. But with Evans' head, as you hear, you don't hear any crackling or creaking or noises when you tighten the head, as opposed to other brands. And that is because the Evans heads, they really sit so good and sort of evenly on the drum, and they are really well made in terms of the frame that the skin is attached to, and so on. You know, so then I just know that okay, I need some more tension into the drum to listen to it. Then I'll do, from feeling the tension here, just do half a turn. Half a turn. You guessed it. Half a turn. There. There. So, if you listen closely, I hope you can hear it. If you listen to the overtones now, just from not even checking it, all these slugs are pretty evenly tuned, except for this one, which is a little bit low. So with that, we have a very good place to start. Of course, now the drum is tuned way over. I'm using the snare drum as a my camera stand here, so I just have to turn the snare. So of course this is way over where I would generally like to tune my 10-inch drum. I might want to go for a sound like this, really high pitched if I play jazz, or I want that type of more high pitched sort of bebop sound. I might go for this. However, I like a slightly lower tuning with these heads and also these kind of drums. Well, I didn't check the bottom head for now. I will let the Yamaha bottom head stay on. I'll listen to this. As you can hear, I was creaking and making some noise here. So from the factory, this head is tuned pretty good. Some small adjustments. When you just go, for those who didn't do this before, when you want to listen to the harmonics or the overtones, you just put the drum on a surface so the bottom head is muffled, and you just tap with your finger. And you just hear which ones are higher, lower. What I tend to do when in this part of the process, I just tune the lower ones up to the higher ones. And here it's a few more lower, a little bit lower. I hear the noise when it cracks. So that's also a good starting point. Also, one of the reasons why I tune it sort of way up at first is to hear the overtones, to be able to get the head in tune at a high pitch, and then starting taking it down to the pitch that I would usually use. So from experience, the way I usually tune a 10-inch drum, this bottom head needs to be a little bit lower. Something like that. Turning it around. Checking the top head. So as you may notice now, or you can rewind to check, is that I tapped the head by this log, and it was a little bit low. I tapped the rest, and I could hear some places being a little lower or higher. Then I just tightened this plug a little bit, and then the whole head came together and sounds evenly now, all the way around, like that. So now we hear that the bottom head is lower than the top head. Generally, I want the bottom head to be a little bit tighter, usually half a note or a whole note. I don't, of course, tune my drums to a certain note or certain pitch. I don't tune my toms to definite intervals or something like that. I just tuned from the size of the drum. What makes this size 10x7 sound good? Usually you will find the sort of clear, full, fat tone at lower tunings. So the next thing then is just to start bringing the head down, top head down. I do half turns like this. And just check it over. So there we already at this point we are sort of reaching a place where the drum starts to sound fuller and bigger. So I hear now that I need to have the bottom head a little bit looser. So then just small turns to correct it a little bit. Like that. So then a little bit looser on the top head. Small adjustments too. So like this. There you have. At least for me, that's a great place to start. That kind of pitch and that kind of sound. I actually don't have a drumstick here, so I'll use. So now I just pushed a little bit on the heads, and you can hear it go a little bit lower. So that's the way I tune my drums. On some of the sizes, I actually tune the bottom head a little differently. On the 12-inch, for some reason, usually I end up tuning the bottom head the same as the top head. It works for that size for me for some reason. The floor toms, like 14 and 16, I usually tune also the heads the same pitch, or depending on the situation, the bottom head a little bit higher. The reason why I tune the bottom head lower on the floor toms, or the same pitch as the top head, is that you tune out a little bit of the most sort of sympathetic ring that happens between two big drums being beside each other, and it makes the drums a little bit more compact and tight sounding. You know, you don't get so much ring happening between these two drums. That being said, the recording custom drums, one of the reasons why I really like these drums for all these years, is that they have kind of that defined, punchy, tight sound that I really like. And when you play a 3-tom or a 4-tom kit or recording customs, you really feel that you have great control over each drum. You know, they really respond to your touch in a great way. They don't go flying off with a lot of resonance or sound that you sort of can't control. So for my playing style and my touch, these drums are the best I've ever tried, and I doubt that I will find something that can match them, and unless Yamaha releases another recording custom in 40 years or so. Anyway, that was a little quick tuning of this 10-inch tom, and hope you learned something and got some ideas. So, see you next time. Smith Drums. Bye bye.